discussion. Can't you see them dad boys are casting? Testing competition on their podcast mission. Never know what you get. It's chaotic precision. If you don't know, you better find out the dad pack. Are here to prove a point. We three kings just believe that you don't want to tussle with them. This show is thunder. Subscribe and tune in, and you're laughing to the very end. Don't turn your back on the dad pack. Don't turn your back on the dad pack.
Put the kids to bed. Dad's home. We are the DWO podcast, representing the dad world order. I am the pretty faced papa, Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. With me, as always, the rest of this patriarch pack. We got the big bad bearded daddy. He is Big Rig Eric Murphy.
Oh, if you hear me, baby, let's go.
Oh, yeah. And he is the perpetual mid-carter and the two-time world record holder. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy, Bo Cephas.
Cowabunga, indeed. It is day 1252 of my world record setting streak, and we're rocking a cheese shirt. Former guest of the show.
Yeah, shout out to cheese.
We love some cheese, that is for sure. So as Mr. Magnificent said, we are the DWO podcast. And tonight we have with us a very special guest. We talked to him a little bit before the show, and we can't wait to get into it with him. The one and only Rika Wildlee. Sir, how the heck are you?
I'm doing great, fellas. Doing great. And I gotta say, I love what you're doing with the dad pack here. A little bit of respect for you there.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we've been doing this, man. What, September, August be 3 years?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Starting to get some legs under us. Took us a while, but we got a full-fledged fan base at this point. So
Yeah, dude. It don't matter how long it takes, as long as it's happening.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you kind of it's a big learning curve. You know what I mean? You start out based on what you started out based on other wrestling podcasts we'd seen, right? And then once we'd been in about a year and a half, that's when we were kind of like, okay, we're comfortable, and we kind of started going off on our own niche and creating our own brand, as it were.
I got you. Yeah, man, that's awesome. You know, to finally understand where you're coming from and the avenue you want to take to create your podcast. You know, kind of where you want to set conversation wise. So that's awesome.
Yep.
I kind of liken it to you know, like the story of like Stone Cold or Triple H. They started as terrorizing and stunning Steve Austin, and neither one of those were correct. But
Right.
they needed that base to become what they were, and that's the same thing at what we're doing. You know, I think we're past our Rocky Maivia stage. That's for sure.
Understood.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. How many years you got in this?
Well, professionally, I graduated in 2021 from the UWE Pro Wrestling Academy of Louisiana under the coach and mentorship of the legendary original Dapper Dan, who was trained by Ivan Putski.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, and me and 4 other gentlemen were the first class to go through that school. We all went through and have made great careers so far. You know, we're still growing every single day. One of our fellow guys that was in that class passed away recently, but everybody has done well since coming through that school. And now I think 4 years deep, they have put 48 or 49 people through that school so far. And I'm running every single weekend now, got bookings all over, multiple time champion currently, and am always looking to learn a little bit more, move around a little bit more, and get a little more exposure. So thank you guys.
Oh
yeah.
Man. Well, we're happy to get a chance to get to know you. Are you still based in Louisiana? Or are you traveling out of state? Or are you sticking with Louisiana?
Well, I live in Louisiana, but I travel all over. Like right now, I am the current SWF Sadistic Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion in Silsbee, Texas. I am one half of the current tag team champions for Classic Championship Wrestling in Alma and Fort Smith, Arkansas. And I am one half of the current tag team champions in Renegade Championship Wrestling in Oklahoma City.
Golly,
You ain't lying. You are traveling. That's for sure.
I mean, as it sits right now, I've worked 9 different states, been to 24 different companies, and you guys make my 37th podcast.
Hell yeah.
Okay. That, I mean, somebody told me when we first started doing this stuff to be consistent and do as much as possible. And I've heard that advice in wrestling before as well. Take every booking you can. I mean, it makes sense.
Look, the way I feel about it is it's just like any other business. You're not going to start out making a name. You're not going to start out making money. You're not going to start out, at the top of the list. But the fact is the more you put the work in, the more credibility you build, the bigger resume you build. And by the time you make it to a company that's willing to put out the money to book you, you've got a resume and a work to back up everything that they're going to pay for. Right. So, I mean, you got to prove yourself in one way or another. So by the time you get to that level, they can't question what you're worth.
Yeah.
Well, and you're just I feel like staying in one place too does limit your exposure a little bit, because 1,000%. the more you travel, the more other eyes see you, the more other promoters see you, this, that, and the other thing. So,
very much
yeah,
so.
if you're willing to put the miles in, get after it.
I mean, hey, I've worked from Louisiana all the way up to Ohio, all the way over to Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Georgia.
Heck yeah.
I mean, thing is this is what I've always wanted to do. This isn't it is a weekend thing, but I mean, I'm trying to pursue it harder than that. Maybe not trying to push the WWE just yet or anything like that, because that's not really my end game. But I am trying to enjoy the time that I have in front of the crowd that I love, in the business that I love, because just like any other thing out there, you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So enjoy the moment, man. Embrace the moment, each and every time.
Absolutely. Where'd you come up into Ohio?
I actually wrestled at the Gathering of the Juggalos.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I spent a few months there. I got an old Hatchet Man tattoo on the back of my neck.
There you go. I wrestled at 2022 the Gathering of Dreams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the last gathering I went to was when they debuted the design for the Wraith. That's how long ago it's been.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
My band has played with ICP, Twisted, and all kinds of shit. We played New Year's Eve. So I'm friends with a lot of those guys, especially the JCW guys, man. The JCW guys are pretty cool.
Hell yeah, man.
We like
that was one of my bucket list things, dude. That was one of my bucket list spots. Do what?
Have you done any work with Facade at all? He does a lot of work with JCW.
I have not. That's the only time I've, unfortunately, as it says, that's the only time I've got to work with JCW, and that's because I had some friends reach out to Pondo, and got me set up that way to go up there and work, which was, like I said, bucket list dream stuff, man. I've always wanted to go. That was my first gathering and my first time ever working with JCW. So 2 birds, 1 stone.
No shit. Wow.
Pondo used Big Rig as a stabilizing thing not too long ago at a show.
Well, he used a Theragun with nails in it on someone. Yeah. He used,
welded.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I still have some thumbtacks from that match that ended up.
I remembered him laying up on you. I didn't remember what he was actually doing there.
Yeah, he was like doing something on the ground, and then he just like got up on his knee and like put his hand on my like my upper leg and like hoisted himself up, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, okay, use me then, whatever.
Yeah, why not?
Once it was over, he was like, well, that was cool.
Yeah. Right.
And then we also got to see the Brothers of Funstruction wrestle at Revolver. That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to get them guys
with
on the
Violent J being there in the building. That was cool.
Violent J did my little shirt video with me. I don't know how much you know about my gimmick, man, but I wear a different wrestling shirt every day, and I do a video. And he actually said yes on doing the video with me, and it just kind of blew my mind because, you know,
That's dope.
and Violent J is not the most friendliest guy in the world sometimes that I've heard
Right.
and have experienced. So the fact that he was willing to do my video, I was like, all right, fuck yeah. Let's get it.
Do it.
So,
Hey,
have you always been
that's
a fan of professional wrestling? Like, was it like from the time you were a kid, or did you find it
Look.
later in life?
Okay, I'm gonna explain it like this. I was 8 years old when I found professional wrestling found me. Back like I'm gonna say Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, double intercontinental title era. Okay.
Yeah.
And ever since then, no matter what ups and downs I've had in my life, no matter what kind of things I was going through, whatever, wrestling has always been there. And what's up?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, wrestling has always been there. And I had a kid at 17. So as much as I wanted to pursue wrestling, that was the goal. I wanted to get in somehow, you know, go to a school, train, start working in the ring and all that kind of stuff. But for years, it had to be put on the back burner due to, you know, kid things, life, daddy stuff, whatever.
And
And
if anybody expects that, it's this three guys right here.
there you go, bro. And I it's one of those
Not just a
things,
gimmick.
man. Right. I mean, I got to show my love of wrestling not only through myself but to my son growing up. And he was 13 or so, and I was 30. And me and my wife had just got married, and we were in Cancun, Mexico. And we were on our honeymoon, and we're sitting outside on the balcony. We're feeding the birds. We're doing our things. We're a romantic morning, whatever. And I look over at her, and Dustin Rhodes had just opened the Rhodes Wrestling Academy. And I was like, what do you think about moving to Houston? So I can really, I'm going to kick myself in the ass if I don't at least try to pursue that. I'd rather try and fail than to have never tried at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And she was like, well, I don't know about moving to Houston. You know, I don't got nothing in Texas. You don't have nothing in Texas. It's a real gamble, da-da-da-da-da. And not a half hour later, two of my best friends, one of them ended up going through the class with me the first time, called me and was like, hey, you know, a wrestling school just opened up like 30 minutes from the house. And I'm like, dude, I'm the biggest wrestling fan around here. If a wrestling school opened up around where we live, I'd know about it. And come to find out, it really did. I mean, once COVID hit and the coach, he had owned a motorcycle shop. And when people stopped buying his, you know, going out and actually buying stuff, and his shop kind of went down, he decided to go back to his roots, and he knew wrestling. So he opened up a wrestling academy.
There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
And that's how that happened.
Isn't it amazing how like something as crazy as COVID spawned so much like other creativity and other happenstances that would have never happened without that pandemic?
Dude, life is so fast, man. Life is so fast. People get caught up in the this and that of everyday stuff and forget to look inside themselves at their creative side, because work, home, raise kids, work, home. You know what I mean? You get stuck in that stigma. And when COVID hit, and it really gave people time to sit back and think, like, I didn't want to just grow up and be a working stiff. You know, nobody did. Nobody started that way.
No.
And to give people that time to sit back, be at home, think about the different avenues that they would have taken if it hadn't been for life kicking them in the face. It spawned a bunch of amazing things, you know, for people.
Yeah.
It's weird how life works like that, man. I mean, the last time we had a guest on, it was Jonathan Joss, the voice of John Redcorn. And I'm sure you've seen it.
That's sick.
Yeah. We were one of his last two appearances, you know, and now that, you know, he's no longer with us, it's just like, we've had almost like epiphany about it. Like, it's almost like you really don't know.
Right.
Any one of us could be gone this time next week. And it's so scary to be a father and think about leaving your kids when your kids
Yes.
rely on you. It's
100%.
all I want to do, like my main goal in life is to make it till my kids are like 25, to where I know they're like mentally ready that I could die and they would be able to make it through it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's my main goal, is to just get to there.
Hey, dude, I get it, man. My son is now at the age I was when he was born. And yeah, and it really hard reality set in, knowing that I know the mental state I was in, looking back, thinking I knew everything about everything, and then reality punched me in the face, and fatherhood, and all of that stuff. And looking back, I didn't know nothing about nothing.
Yeah.
I was clueless, bro, about what life has in store, or what to do as a dad, or what. I mean, I went from overnight from playing with my wrestling figures to now you've got a baby.
Yeah.
And it was like, you just completely mind blown. And to talk to him about that now, about how easy it is to fall into that same scenario,
Yeah.
I'm just glad I can be there to kind of guide him now based on my experiences, I guess, as any father should.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
Do better than me, son. Do better than me. Learn from my mistakes.
Right.
I learned a lot of shit the hard way, and let me tell you these stories. That way, maybe you learn a lesson or two. That way you maybe don't have to learn these things the hard way as well.
Facts.
I think that's why this generation is so anti-alcohol and tobacco and stuff. When we were younger, they all told us not to do it and kept it hidden from us, and it intrigued us. And then we did it, and now we're telling our kids, like, no, that shit sucks. Like, there might be some, fleeting benefits, but you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna have fun. It's not worth it. My kids have zero interest in drinking at all. You know what I mean?
Well,
and it's like,
the only bad thing is nowadays, with drinking and smoking and everything else, they've turned all the stuff that they should be turned away from, alcohol and cigarettes and all that kind of stuff, they've turned it into candy. Everything has a fruity, super intriguing flavor, That's what I'm saying. And that's why
I was a dipper and a smoker for years and years and years. And
yeah.
Now
but that's why kids are digging it nowadays. Not so much cigarettes. They're like, I want watermelon today, blueberry, whatever. And
blueberry splash ice.
Well, and even with alcohol, you got all the seltzers and everything like that. You can just suck those things down, and it doesn't taste anything like beer.
Exactly.
The closest thing we had to that was Four Loko, and that damn near killed all of us.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And my mom's favorite, Boone's Farm.
Boone's
Farm.
Let's go.
Wild
go.
Irish Rose, Mad Dog 2020.
Coolers.
Come on now. Carlos and James.
Little Franzia.
Oh, God.
Zima.
Boxed wine of all.
Oh, boxed wine.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Hey, when I was younger, I didn't understand wine. I thought it tasted really bad. Now that I'm older, I'm like, a little lemonade wine is pretty good. I don't mind a sip or two.
Yeah. The older you get, the more expansive your palate gets. So it's
right.
Definitely.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll still have them every now and again, but I kind of cut out beer for a long time. Like I said, I'll still have them every now and again, but I've gotten to the point where I like bourbon, and it's nice because I don't drink a ton, but like when I do, it's like, dude, I can have 2 or 3 glasses, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm toasty. You know what I mean? I don't
ready to sleep.
I don't get to that point where I need to pound, a case of beer. Which I'm 35 now. I shouldn't be pounding cases of beer anyway.
Yeah, I'm 35 as well.
It's just one of those things where you get older and you're just like, okay, let's start taking it easy and start taking care of yourself a little bit.
And man, I've never been able to keep up. It's not that I can't. It's not that I don't drink. It's that I can't drink. I've had friends and I grew up around people, and they're like, I'm not looking to drink. I'm looking to get blackout drunk. And I'm not that guy. I've got ADHD really, really bad. So when I start drinking, it never gets to the fun point because I start people watching.
Yeah.
You know, I'm that guy that's sitting in the back of the corner and I'm catching a good buzz and I'm like,
Like you start focusing on like
yes,
hyper fixating and then
Yes.
being out of focus. Yeah, I
yeah,
know exactly what you mean.
I am not a fan of that, bro. Not
Yeah.
at all.
That disconnect.
I've
is
had that
weird.
before where I get so drunk that I get like tunnel vision almost.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like, yeah, not a good time.
Well, I've been to parties and house parties and stuff like that, and everybody's wanting to do the beer pong thing, and they're wanting to play all these card games and all this stuff, and they're like, "Man, you're a buzzkill," and I'm like, "No, dude, I'm just so in a zone right now that I feel like if I jump in that game too much, that I'm going to end up fucking something up."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to sit back here in a corner and I'm going to watch. Not that I'm not having fun. I'm enjoying watching you guys act stupid, but I'm going to sit over here and do my own thing and let you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm way too old to be made to drink anything. You know, like
Facts.
if we can
Facts.
play a game and I can drink on my own accord, cool. Let's play some cards. You know what I mean? Let's play some euchre. Let's play some dominoes or something, man. We don't. Yeah, I don't get down like that no more.
If I'm gonna drink while I'm playing something, it's gonna be D&D.
Yeah.
And I'm only playing I'm only drinking at the tavern, bro. What's up?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, we used to work nights, man, and we would sit here and game all night on our off nights because we'd stay up all night to keep schedule, and that would be it. It's better than going out to the bar. You could sit here. I could, have drinks in my own basement, not go anywhere. I'm not hurt.
I'm in my pajamas. Like, what's up?
Right. Pajamas.
It's the daddest thing ever.
We're at 9,400 likes on TikTok right now.
That's pretty cool.
9,400 times someone's hit the little heart button. That's insane.
That's awesome.
Hey,
Yeah,
I want to jump back to this comment real quick. Josh brought up David Barnabas Spector with JCW, another awesome guest to have on. Actually, we did have David on. Yeah.
That was actually one of the coolest interviews because he was in his car, and as the interview went on, it kept getting darker and darker. And by the end of it, you could like just barely see his face. It was so like the aesthetic of the episode was just so perfect. Like by the end of it, he was just
that's awesome.
Yes.
He was just in the camera.
Yeah.
I thought it's funny you brought him up though, because that's somebody I thought of that that would work well with you, Rika. That would you would
He'd
fit
be
right
an
in with
excellent manager for you.
the
I don't know if you know who we're talking about, but he's one of the most brilliant dudes in the top hat that goes around. He manages just about everybody in professional wrestling at this point. But he's been all around from Revolver. He currently is doing a lot of work with JCW, but he's been everywhere.
Very charismatic guy. So
yeah, man, I dig it.
Gets it.
That was the whole thing with me beginning this gimmick in the first place, because this is the only gimmick I've ever done.
Really?
Yes, this is it. Like, I started in 2019, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but they do like e-fed groups, like promo groups on Facebook, where people promo against each other. That's where the Rika character started.
Okay.
I was just doing that, and I seen how much people enjoy doing just that alone. And what was crazy is the guy that reached out to me and told me about the school, he was also one of my local friends. I've known him since I was 14. And he was a promo guy as well. And he told me about the school and all that. So when I showed up to the school the first day, I already had the mask on. Like, I'd never even met the coach yet. And I show up and I've got the mask on. And he's going, well, what the hell is this guy? Who's this guy? And I'm like, I'm just letting you know, this is the gimmick. This is what I'm doing.
I know who I am.
Yep. And he hated it. When I say he hated it, with a passion, dude. Oh my, like, every day was take that stupid shit off. Take that stupid shit off. Yeah. He's very old school, man. He's like, he don't like gimmicks, full on gimmicks. You're a dude in tights and with a regular name like John Denver or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, he don't like off the wall, in-depth gimmicks. And when I told him what I was doing, this whole Barker of the Bazaar thing, he was like, that shit, first off, it's never going to work. Second off, it's stupid as shit. And third off, I'm about to run you to fucking death. And he did. But I kept the gimmick, and now, it's to a point to where he's got me as the head trainer of the UW Academy.
Oh,
Okay.
hell yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of come full circle.
You wore him down.
Work.
Yeah. I proved myself, man. I started moving around. I never cowered. You know, most people in our position, with him being a veteran, you know, he's traveled the world. He's done his thing. And most people would listen to what he says and take it to heart and be like, look, if he don't like it, obviously it's not a good gimmick. Obviously it's not something that's people are gonna enjoy. He knows what works and what doesn't.
Yes.
But I just knew in my heart that I had something special. Now, when I showed up, I didn't have the lights. I didn't have any of that. It was just the neon mask, the top hat, the tailcoat, and all that good stuff. And went through the school, done a couple shows, and I had the cane with the lights on it, but done a couple shows. He saw how much people enjoyed it, and we had a little falling out the first year and a half after the first and second graduating class. And I kind of got booted from the school for a while, or from the UWE for a while. So I started kind of branching out and doing my own thing, and reaching out to other promoters and promotions and going to different places. And UWE has a very elaborate entrance way. You know, like they don't just have a curtain. It's very lights and, you know, flashy fog and all this kind of junk.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
produced. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. So when I started going to these other promotions and all they had was a curtain, it really kind of killed my vibe.
Yeah.
And I was always worried about that. So I was like, you know what? Instead of worrying about going to these other promotions and them not having the entertainment value of that, I'll just become the lights.
Yeah.
I'll
Really
just
Make
bring
your
them.
own production.
Bring the
Yeah.
vibe with you. Yeah.
Yeah. And no matter how big or small the company is, I stand out.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow, dude.
I guarantee when the kids leave, they're like, yeah, but that light up guy.
That's exactly right, dude. And I've said that 100 times over. You know, coming into wrestling, you're always looking for something that's the hook, you know, for the fans. You're always looking for something that's that hook, no matter how big or small or whatever your gimmick is, something to really draw their attention. And the first thing was, I'm billed from your town. Okay. So everywhere I go, I'm from your town. Why? Because a carnival travels from town to town to town. That's a thing.
True. Okay.
So I'm billed from your town. Not only am I billed from your town, but they see the lights. So by the time they hear Rika Wildlee, the Barker of the Bazaar, from your town, and I walk through the curtain, they're hooked by the lights. They're already sitting on the edge of their seat going, wait, from my town? Do I know this guy? You know, and now they're watching my mannerisms. They're looking at my long hair, and, you know, they're trying to piece me to their world already.
Dang.
Who is this guy behind the mask? So they're already involved. They've never even seen me wrestle yet, but they're already on the hook.
Wow.
So by the time I get in the ring, I could have a 5-star match, or I could shit the bed and have a garbage match. But the fact is they're already, after the thing is said and done, they're going to be talking about that guy with the lights.
Cerebral.
That's what really matters when you really think about it, is when the kids remember you, they're going to want to come back next time and buy that t-shirt and shoot for you harder, and so on and so forth, you know?
They're going to be telling their friends. I guarantee I at least, on a bad night, I at least have 20 or so new followers every time I leave a show on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
That's how you know you're over, man. I mean, not the only way you know you're over, but
Right.
that's definitely a thing where you're like, you can hear the, you know, crowd and everything, and, you know, responding to you. But when you get that kind of after the show, it's kind of like, yeah, I did good work.
Well, I mean, you got your merch table set up, you got all that, you know, you're signing autographs and all this kind of stuff during intermission. And I made sure to have my QR code with all of my links and all that stuff on it, as any, you know, business or indie wrestler or whatever should do, you know, try to constantly promote themselves. And to have these people come up and they're going, where can I see more? I need to see more. Because now they're wanting to show their friends. They're wanting to show people that they work with. Hey, I went to a wrestling show this weekend. You got to see this guy. You know, and they're already, it's pulling you in deeper in their life. So by the time the next show rolls around and you're on the card, they're not only coming, but they're bringing people.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of, let's see this guy, for some of the guys at home that are watching the video stream, I brought up a few pictures here so we can show you guys some of the in action and entrance photos of Rika here. Some of these Some of these photos here are pretty solid, freaking cool photos. Like this one right here, I really like a lot. You're definitely photogenic, man, and this has like almost Papa Shango vibes in a way. You've got like this, I don't know, it's like a toy soldier, but differently in a way. I don't even know how to describe you, and that's a good thing. And this photo here, dude, that's pretty
sick.
solid.
That is probably the biggest bump I've ever taken.
How was that?
This one here, I think that was just that's like
magical, dude.
Yeah, that's a really, really good photo, my guy.
Yeah, man, they're always looking to take the pictures because you never know what angle the lights are going to hit, so you never know what kind of little starburst effects you're going to get off the glare of the lights, which makes everything that much better in my opinion. But I'm constantly switching it up. Like I've made all this gear other than my mask and my boots, I've made myself.
I was just about to ask, do you make your own gear, which makes it that much cooler?
Yeah, I done that. I mean, I've got custom boots that nobody else has. It has my pictures and a collage of me on them. The mask I designed and had molded to my face. I didn't make it or the boots, but I had it molded to my face to fit tight and snug, so it looks like paint, but it's actually a mask.
That's funny because I was going to ask you because it's so tight to your face, and I was like, I had to look and see. And your mouth moved a little bit. I was like, oh, it's a mask. Okay.
Yeah.
It's so close, man. It's so well done.
Well, I just had it molded easy with latex. Kind of like the Mrs. Doubtfire situation kind of deal.
Hello,
That authenticity goes a long way, brother. People see those layers to that onion, man, and they're more intrigued. You know what I mean? It's
hey,
you're not just coming out there going, yeah, come on, white meat baby face.
Look, man, I promise. I've had multiple promoters just because of the way the gimmick looks and all of that try to push me as a heel. And I promise I've tried, and I could go out there and kick a baby, and I think they're still going to cheer for it.
Well, bro, you got I haven't seen you work, so I don't know what your work style is, but your personality reminds me a lot of Jeff Hardy, bro. I've spent quite a few evenings with Jeff, and I
appreciate that.
You have the same cadence, you know what I mean? And I don't almost like the same kind of mindset. You just want to make art. And I think that shows through in your gimmick itself. So I think that's why, even though you might have pissed old Dapper Dan off with it, I think that's why he let it slide, because it works.
Well, I look at it like this. I wrestle a lot of different shows all over the country. I wrestle a lot of different shows. And every time I come, I've probably made 7 or 8 different jackets in different styles. I got some that are tailcoats. I got some that are more like trenches. I've got some that's got the hood instead of the top hat. And I've made all these different things because no matter if you've seen me once or you've seen me 100 times, you still never know what I'm coming to bring, what I'm going to bring. Yep. It's always keeping people on their toes. They may have seen the jacket before, but am I coming in the same style? Am I going to bring out the same thing? Nobody gets that. If you make it yourself, if you put your time and effort into making something that is uniquely yours, everything in the wrestling business has been done time and time and time again, but it's not about what's been done. It's about what's taking what's been done and making it your own.
Yeah, that's definitely sure. I mean, you look at MJF. We've had a lot of cocky heels before that just come out and talk shit to everyone, but he did something a little bit different than everyone else, and that's why he got noticed.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Same with people like Mariah. What's her last name in NXT now?
Mariah
May. What is it?
Mariah May. I mean, I don't know her NXT name, but
they gave her the Ricky Starks treatment. She showed up and they didn't say her name.
They gave her something else. Either way, my point in that is people, thought, oh, there's just another blonde wrestler. You know what I mean? There's just another blonde chick wrestler, and she came out and proved that she wasn't. Same with, your Tony Storms and other people that are just organically becoming themselves on 11. And I think, like I said, that's more than likely why old Dapper Dan was willing to deal with it, man, because it works. It's you.
When I first come into the school, I'll tell anybody, I was just over the moon excited. I was running the ropes 90 to nothing. I was just fanboying, man, because I never really stepped inside of a real ring before. I was getting that opportunity to do what I said, what people told me my entire life never happened. That, especially as I got into my 20s and older 20s, they were like, dude, it's time to hang that up, man. Like, one day I'm gonna do it. No, you're, come on. Especially from around here, that kind of stuff does not happen in Central Louisiana, in this little podunk place I live in. And to be able to show people around here that, hey, you don't have to stick to the societal norms, man. You don't have to just go to the oil field, or you don't have to wear Red Wings all the time. You can do exactly what you want to do because the world is at your fingertips. I can't live for you. You can't live for me. What makes me happy may not make you happy, and vice versa. But it doesn't make either of us wrong.
That's true. It's all a matter of perspective, man.
That's it.
It's like that meme where the guy's looking at a 6 and the guy's on the other side is looking at a 9. It's the same thing.
Right.
So turn the page a little bit, man. We have a couple questions that we always ask every guest. And I want to make sure I get them in before we hit our hour mark. And Mike generally asks the first question.
Oh, I hope you're ready. It's a juicy one. So us as fellow dads, we're very budget-minded individuals, so there's certain criteria we like to, kind of gauge our guest on. And one of those criteria is, what do you keep your thermostat set to?
I couldn't, usually 70 if I can do it, but honestly, I let my wife have it. Whatever makes her happy, man.
Acceptable.
That's acceptable. That's one of the 4 acceptable answers. Technically, you got 2 of the 4 acceptable answers. It's 68, 69, and 70, and whatever she wants. So.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life, after all.
Right? Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm not a dumb man. I know. I tied myself to her. It's her world. I'm just living in it.
No feeling, man.
What about gaming, man? Are you a gamer?
You know what? Me and a fellow wrestler had this the other day. He messaged me on Facebook and he was like, dude, I don't see where you have the time to do all the promoting that you do online, because I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, you name it, I'm on it. And I'm like, as much as I love to game, I don't have the attention span.
I get that.
If I'm not working, I'm either hanging out, watching a movie with my wife, which is still half-assed because I'm in and out of paying attention, or I'm promoting online or working on gimmick things or promo videos or something to do with wrestling. And now that my son's grown, I don't have to, he's off doing his own thing. I ain't got to pay him as much constant attention. He's done graduated and all that and started working. So he's off doing his life. And now that I'm doing wrestling full time, pretty much it's either work my normal job or something to do with promoting the wrestling for the weekend. Yep.
Does your normal job know about Rika, or are you
just yeah. Yes, they do. They made me bring
separate, but
hey, they made me bring the belts up there when I win them and show them and all that stuff. They're very, very happy with what I do.
So
awesome.
You mentioned it earlier.
How does he feel about you wrestling?
Well, because me and his mom wasn't, we haven't been together in a long time since he was little bitty. But when I first joined the school, I kind of kept it a secret from him and told him I had a second job in another town, that I was going in the evenings to go work a couple, whatever, just so he wouldn't go back to his mom and be like, my dad's wrestling, and have her start a bunch of drama. So I was like, I did that for a while, and he's always been a super wrestling fan. But as he's got a little older and it's now more his own thing, it's girls and skateboarding, which I've been there.
Sure. Yeah.
And he loves my wrestling. He uses me as clout. Let's put it that way. My dad's a wrestler, But
I love that.
You mentioned the word earlier, and I almost showed you then, but we got distracted by the conversation. You said Intercontinental Champion, double Intercontinental Champion was your favorite match.
Get the dude. Dude.
That's real, dog. That's
real.
Real.
My wow. Respect, my dude. Wow.
Surprised you hadn't seen it. He went viral.
Okay, I have seen that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I went viral.
I did not know that was you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy with Chris Van Vliet?
Yeah, that was me.
No.
Yeah, he posted it and it went viral on all kinds of pages.
And most of the comments were, "Why is that guy's belly button so weird?"
Fuck y'all,
Oh
belly
my!
button's
Okay.
horrible.
I've seen that picture online. I've showed that picture to dozens of people. Had it sent to me a bunch of times.
Yeah,
Look at this guy. Like, hey,
dedicated.
no doubt, forever the Intercontinental Champion. Take it from me. You can't.
Exactly. I almost did a full year with it. So August will be a full year since it's
That's
been
dope.
fully colored. So once I beat Gunther's reign, I'll declare myself the longest reigning champion of all
Bro,
time.
I already got the idea for next year's convention. I'm gonna wear a crop top also, no tattoo. And they're gonna be like, where the fuck's your tattoo? I'm gonna be like, who do you think he won it off of?
That's awesome.
That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I did a crop top at a wrestling convention, just showing my belt off, and it got
Crap. It was
so
good.
much and so much interaction. I told the
Oh, I
guys,
imagine.
I was like, I don't think I can go anywhere public without a fucking crop top now.
Oh
think
no, I would never wear a shirt ever. You're the t-shirt guy. I would be the non-t-shirt guy. I would never
Dude,
wear a shirt.
That's what we should do next year at the convention. Is Mike wears a crop top, no belt. You have a crop top with a belt. I wear a crop top that's a referee shirt, and we just stage
Yes.
you
Yeah.
pinning Mike all over the thing.
Eric, you better watch what you say, dog, because I will order you a fucking referee shirt.
I'll do it. I will 1000%
No.
do it.
You got to do the tuck. You got to do the tuck. Oh, tuck it in over the top.
Oh no, this dude literally day of took one of our shirts from our merch bin and just cut the bottom off of it.
That's awesome.
It was great.
Wow.
We just kept cutting and cutting until it looked right.
Yeah,
Right.
basically. I put it on. It didn't quite look right. I was like, please fix this.
Showing a little under move there. It's whatever.
Do you like that side, dude?
That's my side.
I think my favorite comparison that somebody made of you, they were like, you look like
Lord Crew.
the you see Men in Black, the aliens that drink coffee.
Oh God.
He
said I
looked
look like-
his body type is like that.
Oh wow.
Lord Cruz said I looked like somebody stretched out Hornswoggle. I was like, fuck you, man. Fucking dick.
Wow.
Oh, fuck.
So, I mean, getting into wrestling, like just starting training and everything at around like 30 years of age, is that normal, or is that considered to be on the older side of the,
It used to be. It used to be. Nowadays, not so much. I mean, most people that are hitting their prime, starting maybe, but most people that are hitting their prime are way older than 30. Back in the day, when DDP started, he was 36.
Yeah,
But
I know he
that-
was one of the few that was kind of up there in age.
Right. But everybody else was starting like in their early 20s, if not before that, like fresh out of college or school or whatever, and really blowing their career up. But I think, in my personal opinion, just from the people I've been around, I think knowing where you stand as a man and knowing about like family things outside of wrestling, knowing how to balance all of that, starting at 30 is a prime time. Because you've already got the mindset to understand where the balance needs to be to do your dream job and balance your home life. When you're that young, if you have a girlfriend or a wife or a kid, and you try to jump into something like this that is as crazy as wrestling can be, you really don't know, because you don't know about life yet. You're that young,
Yeah.
You really don't know where the balance, where the line is drawn on where you need all your focus at, or where you put the balance at. But at 30, you kind of got that it's somewhat understood. I'm not going to say in the bag. I'm just going to say somewhat understood.
I totally get that, bro. Because like I went back to school, trade school, to be an electrician at 25, and I often say like, man, I wish I would have started, right out of high school. But if I'm being honest with myself, like I wouldn't have done nearly as well. I wouldn't have been as focused and determined, and to really take it serious enough to make something out of it. If I would have made it through to begin with, so it's like you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, amen, dude.
47 and still figuring my shit out. I don't think I started to grow up until I was 26. Like I feel
Shit.
like my oldest kiddo, she just graduated and she's 17. And I feel, you know, me and her mother didn't get along, and there's a whole bunch of layers to this onion that I'm not going to get into. But I feel like even if I'd have been around her every single day of her life, I still wouldn't have been as good as a father as I've been this time around with my younger kids, because I just wasn't an adult back then. I had
You
no
understand now, bro.
idea to be an adult, and that's why I try to explain to my kids now: don't have kids yet. Don't wait till you're fiscally ready, because then you'll never have them. But
Right.
wait till you're like 25. You know what I mean? Wait till you're like, you know, wait till you can rent a car. You know,
Right. Right. I mean, it's one of them deals, man. It's like when I was that young, I look at my son and that's my son, but we grew up together.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he was as crazy as it sounds, it's like a little brother almost. You know, I mean, it's just weird, but I didn't know anything about anything, and as I was attempting to show him, you know, lessons about life and how to do certain things and all of this, and I'm just as
You're still a kid too.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm teaching him to tie his shoes, and here I am, you know, doing my first adult thing, you know.
Yeah.
learning how to pay taxes and shit.
Yeah,
Right,
dude.
yeah.
Like learning how to balance a checkbook and crazy things like that, you know. I don't
QuickBooks.
understand how I made it through, but the lessons I learned so young because I had a kid so young really taught me the things that I needed to know to pursue what I'm pursuing now.
Dude, and I honestly, I hope that someday you get to experience what I've got to experience recently in becoming a grandpa. And I'm 45, and my grandson was just born a couple weeks ago.
Well,
And
congratulations.
thank you. But I think, especially for someone like you, had a child so young at age, man, you were so caught up in the hustle and bustle of, you know, becoming a parent and becoming an adult yourself, that, you know, you didn't get to really enjoy a lot of the subtle nuances, you know,
Right.
of having a kid and having a special baby around. I mean, obviously, you know, you caught on to some things, but you know, it's a busy time, you know, and it's hectic. So, you know,
Well, that's the thing, man, is like when my son, when we found out, because my baby mama or his mother was 15. I was 17. We had been dating maybe 3 months.
just high school shit.
Yeah. 1 year to the day I lost my virginity, my son was born. Let's put it that way.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So my house burns. We've been
Hell
dating
of a
like
shot,
3.
dude.
Hey, my house burns down and I'm having to move away. We've been dating like 3 months. She gets extremely upset. Her mother says, well, instead of you having to move away, drop out of school, do all that stuff, how about you just come stay with us? So, of course, I did, being young and stupid. And needless to say, less than a month later, she was knocked up, and she was probably 5 months along before we said anything.
Damn.
And and I set her mother down, and I kind of broke it down to her that this is what was going on, and I wasn't going anywhere. And she gave me this option right here. Now I'm still in high school. I'm going to high school half a day and welding school the other half of the day, and trade school. And she goes, you got 2 options. You can either A, keep going to school, completely disregard her, the baby, all of it, and just pretend like nothing ever happened. Baby's not yours. You got nothing to do with it. Keep living your life. Or you drop out of school and get an effing job, because we're not taking care of you, her, or this baby. The next day, I went and dropped out of school, and by the end of the week, I had 2 jobs.
You can get a hell of a salute from these 3 dads, man.
Respect,
I mean, that's
dude.
you'll catch if you start tagging and watching some of these episodes. You'll see every once in a while I'll be gone, or Mike will be gone, or Eric will be gone, because we're off doing dad shit. You know what I mean? And that's the benefit of having 3 different, you know, guys, that we can at least do that to each other every once in a while. But you know, it's dad life is very important to us. You know what I mean? We take 2 vacations a year just to make sure that we're spending extra time with the kids and stuff. Other than that, we do this twice a week too. And
Right.
we're very, very active fathers, you know, and we're all in different stages too, which is really interesting. So it keeps us busy. You know what I mean? You just have the one kid?
Yep. That's it. One and done, bro.
Yeah.
And made sure of it.
Does he have any interest in wrestling at all?
Do what now?
Does he have any interest in wrestling at all?
He does. He like I said, I had him young, and I just got off the trampoline doing my stuff, and I still had it. So as he got a little older, I was like, hey, let's go do that. And we got back on. And I think, to be honest, at 30 years old, I think that's one of the reasons I can still do the moonsaults and all of that crazy stuff. As I'm pushing toward 40, I'm like, most guys my age aren't trying that kind of stuff. But I never got off the trampoline. I mean,
yeah, just keep doing it. It's like, you know, I work with guys that are in their 80s, you know what I mean? And they just keep doing the same thing every day. You know, you don't stop that, you know, that muscle memory and keep doing it. You don't slow down and
right.
You know, you just keep on keeping on. Hey, shout out to this guy. I don't know if it's Wane. Started training at 40, almost 45. Hey, shout out, dude. That's me, bro. But I definitely, I sleep the wrong way. I ain't right for a week, mama, dude.
When I was younger, my grandpa, he saw me jump down a flight of 5 steps. And it was just a simple little, like we were leaving out of a church event, I think is what it was. And I jumped down the little steps. And he said, hey, I thought he was going to tell me to, you know, stop. He's like, don't ever stop doing that. He's like, do that once a day. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I can't do that because I stopped doing that. He's like, don't ever stop jumping down little flights of steps.
I thought you were going to say that your knees blew out and he watched, you know.
No, dude, I definitely feel that. Like, can't tell you the last time I've actually like ran at more than a light jog. Yeah. And like any time that I like, you know, I'm out in the yard with my kid and like she wants to play softball now. So like she's throwing and I got to like run after the ball. Right. And my body's just like, yo, you haven't done this in a while.
You don't do this now.
Because like in my brain, I'm like, oh, I'm going to run like I always have my entire life. And it's like, you are not 19 anymore.
Right. Right. That's what's got me, man, is like doing this at least, you know, sometimes I wrestle 2 or 3 times a weekend, but my normal job is I read water and gas meters for my town. So I read I get out of the truck, I walk miles a day. I may read 200 or 300 gas meters or water meters in a day. Damn. Then on the weekends and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I am at the school training the new students. So it's constant go. And I told my wife, I said, do you understand that one day when I finally do slow down, and I'm just going to develop rigor mortis overnight and just going to have to take care of me the rest of my life. And that's just how that is. I'm just going to be stuck.
Shrivel up.
Yeah. And that's just going to be that, you know.
So we mentioned earlier that there's a couple questions. Big Rig, you want to ask him the other question?
Yeah. This is something we started doing recently, and it's something that I really enjoy asking because it's such a simple question. But you really got to, I don't know. I always like to think about it pretty hard. But what's something that you're thankful for today?
Breasts.
There you go.
All right.
Boobs?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll always, yes, but time, breath.
Oh, breaths.
Breath, not breasts.
I thought you said boobs.
I knew you said breath.
Bud.
No, breath, oxygen, being able to wake up.
That's why Mike went boobs, and I was like, all right.
I mean, whatever. But no, man, just thankful to be able to.
Right?
Sorry, I'm
so sorry.
No,
I'm so sorry.
Thing is, man, and this is just real shit. I buried my grandma this morning.
Oh God!
Oh my God! I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and it really, she was like the patriarch of our family. She's the one that we always went to and kept the family glue. She was the family glue.
Yeah.
That's my grandma too.
And when me and my dad and brothers and stuff, we were the pallbearers and all that. And seeing that happen and knowing that in a day, in an instant, no one's guaranteed tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
No one's guaranteed tomorrow. She had COPD really bad, and for the last couple of years, she it was hard for her to breathe. She had the oxygen tubes and all that kind of stuff, so it was like a struggle just for every single breath. And if you're healthy and you're out living life, you take breathing for granted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to take a deep breath, and that's what I'm thankful for.
That's probably one of the most poignant answers we've had in a long time. And it rings the bell so much for us because like we just said a little bit ago, Jonathan Joss was our last guest, you know what I mean? And 2 weeks ago he was here talking to us and now he's no longer with us. So
right.
You're right, man. You never know. These breaths that we take are not unlimited.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, Rika, where can people find you online if they want to look you up?
I post a lot on TikTok. Rika Wildlee official. That is my TikTok. My YouTube channel is Rika Wildlee as well. Matter of fact, if you Google Rika Wildlee, all of my stuff pops up because I'm the only one out there.
One of one, baby.
One on one, baby.
So I mean, and I didn't know that till I Googled myself a while back just for shits and giggles, and I was like, "Looky there, I'm the first thing that pops up."
Well, brother, if you ever get a booking in Cincinnati and you need a couch, man, let me know. I'll take care of you.
Hey, brother, I appreciate that so much, man.
Yeah, we'd like to, you get anywhere near Cincinnati, Kentucky. Make sure you tag the DWO in your show announcement. We'll drag our ass out. Definitely come out and bring a sign or two and light up.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do that at independent shows, man. We're trying to bring back the days of yore where everybody had signs, man.
Me and a manager had this conversation yesterday about signs and stuff like that. I said, if you were at an indie show, if I was a promoter at an indie show, you can go online on Amazon or eBay or whatever, and you can buy a pack of like 500 markers for like $20 of the little cheap markers. Buy a pack of those cardstock 8x10 paper blank sheets and set them at the table as they buy their tickets. And as the kids pass, tell them, grab a paper, grab a pen.
Bro, I mean,
make a sign.
Make the sign yourself.
Yeah. Show you a couple quick photos real quick. I mean, this is one we had 150 signs.
That's awesome.
We drove 590 miles to see Tommy Dreamer kick Damian Chambers' ass. And then when it comes to signs, this sign right here with Jake Chris, which is one of my all-time favorites, you can see my sign in the back that says "For Our Generation, by Our Generation." I just think that's fucking signs make the fucking event, man. They really
do, dude. The Attitude Era wouldn't have been shit if it wasn't for the crowd signs.
Yeah. Yep.
People got fucking creative back then too. Like shit would, you know what I mean? Like it would move. Like they do rock signs and the eyebrow would move.
Right, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I first started getting this gimmick really over with the crowd and the fans, they were always coming up to my merch table, and I had shirts and posters and things, but they were always coming up asking me where they could get a mask, right? And I'm like, this is the only one I've got, so I don't have any just to sell right offhand. So I went to I can't remember what store, Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something, and I bought a bunch of the blank white drama masks. Okay. And then I went on Amazon and I bought like 400 packs of 3 colors, like you get at IHOP for the kids. It's got like red, green, blue, whatever. And I would sell a mask and a pack of those colors for $10. Okay.
You make your own. Yeah.
And the kids, dude, when I say there was a sea of kids' masks out there with different paint, different designs and all that, just to give them something to do, man.
Yeah.
And they ate it up, bro.
That's brilliant.
And my logic on it was, how Bray Wyatt had the Fireflies. I think it would be sick to have just a sea of blank faces, white faces out there in the crowd, man.
Yeah.
You know,
My lights flicker.
Uh-uh.
The fucking storm isn't coming, buddy.
The thunder
you hear it?
roll. Nah.
Man, I can't hear shit.
It's thundering like a
Huh?
motherfucker.
that's some dad shit if I've ever heard of it.
Man.
But you smell that
You ain't
rain?
kidding.
You smell that rain? Yeah,
Smell that rain. I love the smell of rain.
I do too, bro.
The smell of rain on hot asphalt, like it smelled like summertime to me.
Yep.
There you go.
I feel you.
Well, boys.
Well, Rika, thank you so much for coming on, man. This has been an absolute
Thank y'all.
blast.
Yeah,
I really
We'll
appreciate
definitely
it.
have to have you on again.
I feel like we're cut from the same cloth.
Thank
Yeah.
you, man. I'm blessed to be able to come and talk to you guys just on the fact that without wrestling, bro, I wouldn't have met half the amazing people that I've met.
Dude,
So-
we say that all the time.
Yep.
All the time.
There you go.
Even if
Our-
we never make a dime off this thing, the cool people we've met, the interactions we've had, it's all worth it.
This is the epitome. There's people that exist and there's people that live. You're living.
We're
You know
living.
what I'm saying?
LIVIN, baby.
That's it. That's it.
Hey,
Absolutely.
you know what? We can now say we got a friend in Louisiana.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Making
I
friends
appreciate
all
you
over the
guys.
country,
Thank you
man.
again.
Love it.
Yep. Been a pleasure. And
well,
especially
you
under
boys-
the circumstances, man, you know, with your grandma and everything. You know,
Oh
it
yeah, for
definitely,
sure, dude.
You know, much thanks for, you know, still making time for us, man. That
She
means a lot.
knows the passion. She knows the love. She was always asking me about my wrestling, where I was going to be, she told me not a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, maybe. She told me, she's like, every time I turn on the TV and I see WWE on, I'm just expecting you to walk out. I'm like, Mama,
Aw.
I appreciate that, but yeah.
Name-alls are
Yeah.
special, dude.
By the way, if you ever do come up here and you take Cephas up on his couch offer, I hope you like cats. Just be aware.
I've got a cat. I'm surprised it's not in here right now.
Well, I hope you like 17 cats crawling all over you while you're sleeping on the couch.
17.
Yeah,
I'm
like
ex-
7.
I'm exaggerating, but it's more than a normal amount of cats.
Dude, who
Look,
does like
look,
that?
look.
Alex Shelley.
To be able to hang out with the true Intercontinental Champion, I'll make do.
There
Okay.
you go. Hey, there you go.
To be fair, my
Hell
house
yeah.
is quite clean for that many cats. Just saying.
It is. Just watch out for Reggie. He's a fucking asshole.
Reggie did
Oh,
bite
well.
you. Reggie's a dog, though. I don't know why he bit you, dude. Like he's only bit,
Twice.
he bit my uncle and he bit you, and that's about it. You know what I mean? And he's
We got beef, dog. I mean, next
He's
time.
one of y'all is shitty people.
Damn.
I didn't see him coming last time. Next time.
Hitting. You know, I mean, he's 16, so maybe he was just senile. You know?
Touche.
Yeah.
Touche. He's blind to shit.
Like, dude, I was here last time, like petting you. We were best friends, and now you bite me.
Eating
What the
food.
fuck? We bonded.
Yeah.
We're wrestling.
You boys got anything else before we get out of here?
No, man. Thank you to TikTok. Hopefully, we'll be able to actually stream the show on TikTok. By the way, boys, with all the gifts we made like $10 on TikTok tonight.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
That's not,
Also,
like,
I'm
Pro
calling my
wrestling.
boss. I'm calling off tomorrow.
also plugging this real quick. ProWrestlingTees.com. Rika Wildlee. I do all my own merch designs and all that stuff. I probably got 40 different shirts on there. Just letting you
I'll
guys
take
know.
you to get one and put you on my gimmick, man. Like I
Oh,
said,
dude, make it happen. There's all kinds of stuff on there.
hell yeah.
You said Pro Wrestling Tees?
Pro Wrestling Tees, Rika Wildlee.
All right.
Hell
Just search Rika Wildlee on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
While you're there, search DWO podcast as well because we're on Pro
We got
Wrestling
some
Tees
stuff
as
on
well.
there.
You got it. And if I come up there to do a show one day, I'm walking out with a DWO shirt on.
Oh, hey.
Hell yeah.
You,
dude.
you better guarantee it, dog. You already part of the club.
Yeah,
It
There
was
you
the
go.
old school design, but yeah.
Hey, I dig it.
Hell yeah.
All right,
Your
fellas.
DWO.
Well,
Eric Doris.
That's
as
it, brother.
always, we have been the DWO podcast. I am Big Rig Eric Manfey. He is Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. He is the wrestling t-shirt guy Bo Cephas, and he is the one, the only Rika Wildlee. You can check us out on all the socials at DWO_podcast, Facebook at the DWO podcast, TikTok at DWO_pod. Get that, like we just said, get that dad merch at Pro Wrestling Tees and T Public. We're on there as well. Like, subscribe, listen, follow, all that good stuff. And like comment and stuff too. I cannot stress that enough. Like, I love just randomly getting a notification on my phone, like so and so commented on your thing, and then it's a cool interaction that we can have online with somebody. So,
even if we don't bring it up, I love reading them all.
I do too. I really do. So yeah, until next time, top dads.